Alright, my name is Daniel Nieves, and this is my audience for my speeches. We got an audience of three plus the cameraman. Okay. Um, so I'm willing to bet that many of you didn't know that many chicken franchises today are serving more and more hormone-injected chicken meat than ever before. One strong observation that I've been able to encounter is that while the value in chicken meat quality is quickly decreasing, the value in the dollar amount is fastly increasing. So, as we can see here, in a business perspective, in 1950, we have our generic chicken size, which was about this size right here, at 68 days. In the year 2008, 58 years later, at day 47, this was how big our chickens were looking in America. This is due to a highly induced amount of steroids and hormones. And as I said, in a business perspective, this means money. You always want to, if you're looking at it from a business perspective, you always want to go for the bigger image, for the bigger, broader picture as far as production, as far as gross, and also profit. And this right here, it's not going to really get you much as far as saving money. With that being said, I want to introduce a quote written by Jennifer Hancock, which is, "You are what you eat." Now, obviously, this is not literal. You can't eat a worm and become a worm. You can't eat a chicken and become a chicken. But if you're able to broaden your mind and you're able to understand with a more clear image, you end up becoming whatever you intake and you put in your system. If you put bad things in your system, exponentially in the long run, you'll end up having bad results as far as your health and your body is concerned. So today my goal is to inform you of the several dangerous disadvantages there are to consuming caged and steroid-injected chickens. To start off from my first point, you always want to ask yourself, what am I eating? You can ask yourself, what are you eating? As busy as humans and Americans are today, we really don't take a moment to sit down and take a moment to actually think about, okay, what am I consuming? Let me look at the facts. We're always on the run. Americans are always busy with the jobs, busy with the families, busy with the kids, events, school events, going to class. So you always want to try to, look into what you're eating. As far as my first point, I want to bring out battery cages. Battery cages are usually about 2 feet to 3 feet long, no wider. If you can kind of imagine yourself in the smallest cage possible, and then add 3 more people your size in that small cage. This is basically what the chickens have to go through. These chickens are already crowded. They're already in a small cage enough as it is. 5 more, you add a few more chickens, and you end up getting stressed chickens. You end up getting chickens that get sick because they're basically eating and sleeping in their own waste. This becomes infectious to them, and not only them, but if we end up consuming that as consumers, we can end up getting sick as well. One of the last main points I want to bring out also is the poor treatment and handling. Through farmhouses, you have so many chickens that you have to look after. It's just the easiest way for people and workers to look after the chickens. So the best way is to keep them in these battery cages so that they can easily be maintainable. And of course, for my second point, I have the offspring. As I said, it'll trickle down. If the chickens end up eating something that's malnutritious, it'll end up passing down to the offspring. I have a code here. Infected food equals out to an infected mother, and an infected mother equals out to an infected chick. Here you can see an infected mother. She's been living in battery cages over the course of a few months, and she actually has an eye disease. On this side, because the mother, generically the mother would be sick or malnutritioned, the babies end up coming out a whole lot smaller than what they're supposed to be. This is the size of a regular, I think it was like a 2-week-old egg, and these are the size of a sick 2-week-old egg of the embryo. So you have stunted growth, you have, you know, undeveloped feet. They still haven't developed their feet, their stunted growth, and they really look malnutrition, and the color pigmentation of their fur and their skin is just way off compared to this one. So you also have what is called stress. If the chickens end up becoming stressed, their bodies can become stressed. And you never want to end up buying a chicken that was stressed, sick, or infectious. Today my goal was to inform you of the disadvantages through caged and steroid chickens. And at this time I have completed that goal. Hopefully in the future we can all make reference to Jennifer's quotation when we stop by a tempting chicken joint for that 2-piece killer, literally.